Anna, so can you tell, so you come from Armenia, so what does it, like, what things in terms of gender equality are far from being good and even probably far from how things are in Ukraine, right? So can you tell me what it means for you to be part of this exhibition and to empower other females?
Actually, I came up with the idea of this exhibition together with Yulia Kochetova-Nabozhniak, who's a friend of mine, and she's a photographer and filmmaker from Kiev. After going through this project, Female Leadership Academy, we wanted to show the results of it through the stories of these 15 women who participated in the academy, because we thought that the stories of these women are already important and signify the change that happened in our society after the collapse of Soviet Union. So we cannot consider ourselves post-Soviet anymore. We are post-Soviet, which means that we do not share the experience of our grandmothers and mothers, but we're creating our own reality through the struggles that we're going through every day, trying to, have our voices heard and get equality and equal opportunities in our societies. It's all the struggles that the women already fought in the West, and I'm sure that the existence of all these beautiful ladies, all these wonderful leaders, already shows that the change is happening right now in our society, and we're going to live a much better life than our grandmothers and mothers did.
So what did your family say, or like your relatives, your friends back in Armenia when are they okay with you being a feminist? Are they okay with you organize this sort of events, or do you face some criticism with saying what are you doing? I don't know, because a lot of people don't understand what feminism is, especially in Armenia, probably, right?
Yes, I don't know. Maybe I'm lucky. Maybe I'm a rebel. But I started traveling quite early in Europe, and I lived in Morocco. I went to Morocco all alone when I was 25. So I think that they accepted the fact that I'm independent and I'm living a different life, and they have to come to terms with it, and there is no other way for me to be but being independent and doing what I really want to do, only what I really want to do and what I really care for. And I care for all kind of social issues, and all my projects as a curator is about social issues in Armenia and in the region. So I care a lot about equality and equal opportunities for women. So no, my friends and family are happy with it, and I hope that they are proud of me.
And on the bigger scale, is there some sort of opposition against feminists in Armenia? Is there a lot of misunderstanding and a lot of judgment of activists like you?
Well, yesterday I guess I was talking to two Ukrainian people who told me that in Ukraine there is an association with that feminists are like this feminine group who are going with their bare chest. But in Armenia, I think they associate feminists mostly with the LGBTQ community, because the small feminist community that exists in Yerevan and the LGBTQ community are closely tied to each other, and they participate in each other's events. So in Armenia, when you say feminist, you imagine a masculine female who is most probably a lesbian and who has not been beat by men enough. So this is what they think. I don't think that there is any negative reaction. It's just that they think that it's a Western virus coming to our world, our patriarchal society.
So I watched a video where you talked about this thing that's very predominant in Armenia, quite predominant in Armenia, the selective abortion, that when women find out that they're pregnant with girls, they are more likely to get an abortion. Can you tell me a bit more about it and the complications?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, this is an issue that exists in Southern Caucasus, as a patriarchal society which is obsessed with boys, like boys are considered to be the caretakers of the family, the providers of the family, and the continuation of the family line, the bloodline. So it's okay. The boys are celebrated and girls are considered to be as a curse. This only happens in rural areas, of course, and it's getting less and less. But the fact is, there are lots of families who still prefer to have boys over girls because they consider that if they have a girl, she's going to get married and move to another family, and girls are treated like servants in their host families, in their husbands' families, and so this is why they do not prefer to have girls, because the girl will not stay in the family but will become some other family slave. And so the complications are that lots of females are getting sick. Sometimes they are doing it at home, the abortions, and sometimes they get blood infection and die. I don't know. I think there was.
What do you mean they get blood infections from?
They are using some kind of pills to cause abortion, and this pill can cause excessive blood loss and blood infection. And I've heard about cases when women die of it. Yeah, and so this is one issue, but this is not the only one. All the issues mentioned by the girls in this exhibition, the stories that you can read, they all exist in all of our countries. It's just that selective abortion is one of the issues predominantly existing in the Armenian, rural Armenia, and this is so shocking that it still exists to this day.
Are there many people who are trying to fight this, trying to change things with selective abortion, and how are they treated? Is there is there misunderstanding? Is there some sort of misunderstanding between the people who are trying to fight this old tradition and?
Well, there are lots of international organizations and local NGOs now trying to raise awareness in these rural areas, saying that, doing campaigns about how boys and girls should be treated equal, and that girls have the same assets that boys have, and there is no difference between them. And so when I've been doing this research, going to rural areas, meeting with families, and I have only met one woman who openly confessed that she has done a number of abortions to have her son. The rest of them, they are always saying that yes, we do not want to have a girl, or we would prefer to have boys, but they never openly confess that they did this because of the campaigns. So the campaigns are considered to be successful because, for example, they say that now the rate of selective abortions is very low, and also there is a law prohibiting abortions after 12 weeks, and you can only get to know the sex of the baby after 15th week, I think. So
by law it's actually illegal to.
But I think they can do it illegally. It's still possible to do it illegally, and they also, for example, you can see it clearly when you go to kindergartens and schools. More like 70% of children are boys, and also there are lots of children, lots of young people, men from 25 to 30 years old, who cannot get married because there are no girls, no available girls. Yeah.
It's awful. And this woman, I understand she's not the only one who's like this, but the one that you said that she got a few abortions. So how does it work? So they get pregnant, and then until they find out that this obviously takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, and probably really not painful and not good for you. This is just horrible. How common is this? Getting so many abortions until you get a boy.
Well, now that there is the law, I don't know how they can get these abortions unless they know a doctor or the doctors are doing this practice. Otherwise, the rest of the women are using some pills that cause, miscarriage, naturally causing miscarriage. And abortions are free of charge in Armenia, and they are not against the law. But right now we have the law that after the 12th week they cannot have abortions anymore. So there should be a black market where they do it, apparently. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's against the law now. So hopefully the situation will change, because I've also met lots of young families saying that they don't care if they will have a boy or a girl. But it's mostly not even the father, but the mother-in-law who wants to get a son, who wants to get a grandson, and who is forcing the daughter-in-law to have an abortion if it's a girl. And it's very prestigious to have boy as a first child. if you have a boy, then you don't care what the second child is going to be. But if you have a girl, and then a second girl, and then a third girl, you're most definitely starting to get abortions to get a boy, because this is like the ultimate goal, ultimate aim for them.
You're raising a girl yourself, right?
Yes, of course.
She's very lucky to have a mother like you who can empower her and raise this new generation of strong females in Armenia.
I think so. Yeah, I'm not the only one. But there is one issue in all post-Soviet countries. Everything in our countries is centralized in the capital, and then the rest of the country is like a village. Nothing is really happening. There are no movements. So I think that the movement has to go deeper into the regions and try to raise awareness and also humanize this issue so that there cannot be any discrimination. Because it's so silly that like in some domains, in some spheres, women are not considered equal to men or are considered not worthy enough. It's just the silliest thing ever. And it's also going to be very good for males, because women are not going to only dominate, but they are just going to be equal, and they will share all the tasks that men are doing.
And is it getting better with the new government? Because you just had the revolution like last year. We covered it extensively because we also focus on Eastern Europe. Yeah. Is it getting better with the new government, with the new prime minister?
Most definitely, because in the new government we have lots of powerful female leaders. There is Lena Nazarian, who is a PM. There is an advisor who is Lara Aharonyan, and Lara Aharonyan is actually a leader of a feminist NGO which is focusing on violence in the families against women. So these people are already out there, and they have access to public. They are speaking freely, and I think little by little this is going to change our society. Recently, we even had a trans woman speaking from the parliament, and even though we had some PMs who openly suggested to burn that person, I think if this existed, if this happened, if this took place, this means that things are changing. Yeah.